It's so powerful, right? The first Black show on Broadway, when Broadway comes back, now in Memphis. Memphis is the place where you tell stories like this. And we've got, not only do we have the population, we've got such a camaraderie when it comes to how we come together, where we're telling stories that are really hitting home for a lot of our Memphians. Yes, my name is Jared Thomas Johnson. My pronouns are he and they, I guess. And the show I'm working on, which I'm so excited to be being able to be part of this story, is called Passover, and it's going to be at Circuit Playhouse. I actually started, I guess the way I made my way into directing is, I started off just being in shows and dancing, and then moving from dancer to choreographer. And as a choreographer, you're working lockstep with the director, really trying to make sure you tell the story through the dance. And that's what really made me want to be a director. Working so closely with some of the best directors in town and seeing their process really made me want to dive into that as well. So I shadowed a few folks. I shadowed Jerry Chipman, shadowed Cecilia Wingate, who've done a lot of shows over the years at Playhouse, and then had this opportunity to do this show, which is really dear and true to my heart, because a lot of the shows that I'm passionate about, they reflect my community, and I really want to be part of telling some of the stories that talk about whether you're Black, queer, or just a human being, right? And I just really enjoy those stories, so that's really what pushed me into wanting to be a director, is to be able to be part of that narrative, to share our stories. I guess it's just that I love collaboration. I really enjoy how all the artists come together. They're all bringing their expertise, their love and passion for the work. You know, when I was just a choreographer, I would come in and just really narrow my focus on what my job was, or as an actor as well. But that's kind of the thing, that's my style, is figuring out how to collaborate well. How do we get the best out of everybody and keeping everybody on track to the vision? My first thoughts reading the script is I couldn't stop reading the script. It felt very musical to me, even though it's a non-musical play. But it just felt, you could feel the rhythm, you could feel the dialogue kind of leaping off the page. Because there's so much nuance in the dialogue, and it's so vivid. And that's really what I'm really interested in, is the minimum list of maybe what will be on stage versus the words and how they will make that come to life for us as an audience. So I'm excited about the cast and what they'll be able to deliver as far as really getting the humanity. Because I think sometimes when we think about plays that deal with controversial issues, we don't always see the humanity, the fun, the laughter. And so I think you're gonna laugh and cry and dance in your seats. I feel like you're just gonna do all the things that we all enjoy about going to see a play. It's about these two young men who are trying to figure out their place in life and how to move past their current circumstances. I think we all can identify with that. Even though maybe we haven't always been in their shoes, I think we can all identify with wanting to move to the analogy in the play, the promised land. And sometimes we limit ourselves to what we think is possible, and these two characters have done that. And so what really jumped out to me is, one, why? Why are they limited to their current circumstance? Why not push past till you get to the promised land, and not just let that be an aspirational goal, but something that you can really achieve? Feels like we all go through that. And it's nice to see two young Black folks struggling with that on stage. We don't always get to see a story like this where you're just hearing the Black perspective in kind of a new way. It's so powerful, right? The first Black show on Broadway, when Broadway comes back, now in Memphis. I think Memphis is the place where you tell stories like this. And we've got, not only do we have the population, we've got such a camaraderie when it comes to how we come together over sports, how we come together over certain things in Memphis. And here's another example of where we can come together, where we're telling stories that are really hitting home for a lot of our Memphians. And so I'm excited about that because being part of a narrative where we're sharing stories that reflect most of our community, that's who we want to be as Memphians and as the theater community. So I'm so excited about that we're able to share this story with folks.